Welcome to this week's episode of the Weekend Adventure Canada. Today we're out on beautiful Lake of the Woods and we're going to learn how to sail. Our guide just down the dock here, Paul Murray, is an avid sailor and he's going to teach us all the tricks. I recently just bought a sailboat, so I'm really excited. I'm going to learn a whole bunch of new stuff today, so let's go.
The Weekend Adventurer Canada is brought to you by the Kenora Hospitality Alliance.
Hey, Paul.
Wendy, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Welcome to Northern Harbor.
Thank you.
Sail Kenora and our vessel Swordfish. Come on board. Let's go for a sail.
So we're going to go explore Lake of the Woods?
We are. We're going to sail west down the lake towards Whiskey Island today.
Perfect.
Get the sails up, have some lunch down the lake.
I love it.
Show you a little bit of things about sailing, the ins and outs of getting a boat down the lake without engine power, and have a good time out there today.
Perfect. I'm so excited. Thank
Me
you
too.
so much for taking
Right
us out
on.
today, Paul.
Yeah, come on down
All right.
below. I'll show you around.
Sounds good. Let's go.
This is a 29-foot CNC. It's our training vessel, Swordfish.
Okay.
That's the only boat we have in the fleet at the moment. However, it's a good-sized boat to do yacht training on. We have a Canadian Yachting Association basic cruising course that we put on every year, as well as some introductory to sailing cruises, and as well we do the Pleasure Craft Operators Card course. But when you did first come on board, I mentioned that we needed to go over a few safety items before we set sail. And I just wanted to make you familiar with this particular slider in here is generally where all the safety gear is for the boat. First aid kit, air horn, life jackets are in this area. And today we're going to be using these self-inflating jackets. It's an auto-inflating jacket, which is quite comfortable to wear.
Okay.
Draped over here, arms through the back. And there'll be a life jacket on board for everybody that's going to be on the boat with us today.
Okay.
And if you have children on board, they're not permitted to wear this type of jacket.
Oh,
They
okay.
need to be a form-fitting jacket
Gotcha.
if they're under 16 years of age and a certain weight size. So, great jacket to have. Recommend everybody use them for fishing, boating. They're comfortable to wear, and
It is. It's nice. It's
Yeah.
light. It's not very restricting, so
No.
that's good.
so you see there's plenty of room on the boat. Here we have a little cooking facility with a couple of propane burners for making breakfast is great. Forward we have a V-berth as well as a washroom, which we refer to as the head in the forward end of the boat. It'll sleep 4 or 5 people, a couple of kids and the parents comfortably. Good sized vessel for Lake of the Woods, not too big, but good and sturdy in rough weather. So.
Perfect. So, to get started, what's our first thing?
Well, what we'll do first is we'll go topside. I'll get you familiar with how to untie the bow in order to get the boat out of the slip. Probably the most challenging part of today for sailing is going to be getting this boat out of the slip here in amongst all these other vessels and then back in here again without any contact type thing. So
Right.
we'll go topside. I'll get you familiar with how we're going to untie the lines and how I need you to position the boat as we drive away.
Okay.
And talk about when we come back, how you're going to retie things after the day.
Perfect.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Right on.
Let's go topside.
Okay, Wendy, here we are up at the bow of the boat, and your task today will be to do the bow lines in order for us to get away.
Perfect.
I'll be back behind the wheel driving. What I need you to do is first to undo this line here, take it out of its off its cleat. Do the best you can to try and toss it on the pole over there. And this is the windward line, so there'll be tension on this. This will be the last line that we let go today.
Okay.
And what I need you to do is once everything's untied and you've tossed this line here, hold the starboard line, but don't toss it away. Hang on to it until we start to leave the slip. I need the boat to stay centered in the slip in order to clear the boats on the other side and make our turn down the lake.
Sounds good.
And okay, I'll let you start undoing the lines. I'll get the engine running and we'll get out of here.
Perfect.
we are away.
Awesome.
Come on back to the cockpit. We'll talk a little bit about what the plan will be for sailing and
Yeah,
get the
okay.
boat ready. Have you sailed before?
I have sailed a few times.
Okay.
By no means any sort of an expert. I'm looking forward to all that you have to teach.
Well, we'll put you behind the wheel today for some of this and let you drive the boat under sail.
Awesome.
I'll look after trimming the sails and doing the sail work, and you can look after sailing the boat.
I love it.
Keep it moving along quickly and should be good. We'll have to motor for a little way just to get out of this bay and get into some open water to sail.
Now, do you have a route planned for us today?
Well, based on what the winds are today out of the south, we're probably going to head west. West will be a good choice rather than sail into the wind. Sailing into the wind is a little bit more work, whereas sailing off the wind with the wind coming across the boat, if we head west in the south wind, that position of sail is called reaching.
Okay.
And it's a good point of sail, it's comfortable, and that'll be the plan today. No
Awesome.
specific destination, just wherever the wind takes you, right?
Perfect. Sounds good.
So this island right here,
Yep.
we have to go around that island
Okay.
and out the bay.
Okay.
If you look on here, you'll see a number of tracks where I've sailed before.
Oh, yeah.
You can just follow one of those
Follow
tracks.
one of those. Perfect.
The orange boat on here is us.
Okay.
This is your projected course out 500 feet to that arrow.
Okay.
You're going to see some little white
Yeah, I
swim
see them.
area markers.
Yeah.
We got to stay clear of those as we
Okay.
head around.
Are those rocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually,
No,
no. It's
they're
a swim
just-
area for the
Oh,
cottage.
okay.
Yeah. So I'll get sail covers off, put a few things away, probably put my jacket on, and get things ready to go.
All right.
Okay, the helm's yours.
I'm in charge of the helm. I have a charted plan here for us. So we're just going to cruise out of the bay, and Paul's going to get a couple things ready for our next, the next part of our adventure.
When we get to the point where we're ready to pull the sails up,
Yeah.
I need you to drive the boat straight into the wind.
Okay.
If you're off on any angle to the wind, what'll happen is it'll put pressure on the sail and the sail won't go up.
Okay.
So you need to drive the boat straight into the wind to raise the sails. It'll flutter like a flag all the way up without any pressure.
Okay.
And on the flip side of that, when we take the sails down, again, we got to sail the boat or drive the boat straight into the wind
Okay.
to take the sails down, okay? Okay, Wendy, you're going to drive. You're already straight into the wind.
Yep.
That's good. I think I'm going to pull those sail ties off, and we'll get ready to pull up the main sail. There's two sails on the boat, right? The main sail is here off the boom that's attached to the mast, and the forward sail is the jib sail.
Okay.
So we'll sail with both sails today.
Perfect.
We got a bit of breeze. Could use a little more sunshine, but that's
you do.
Kenora this summer, right? Okay, we're sitting good. Another half kilometer and we'll pull the jib out and we'll, under full sail, shut the engine off and away we go. Okay, Wendy, I think it's time we'll pull that jib out and get this boat under sail. Why don't you shut the engine off?
Sure.
There you go.
We are under sail, so the engine has been shut off, and we're just wind powered now. And this takes sailing to the next level. This is actually really nice.
So I understand you got a sailboat, right?
I do have a sailboat.
Right on. New this
Yes.
year.
New to me this year, yeah. I bought it off some good friends of mine, and I'm really looking forward to getting it out there and sailing. Except I have to learn how first.
Well, today will help with that a little bit.
It already has.
There's so many beautiful anchorages on Lake of the Woods where you can throw out the hook and be out of the wind, stay for the night, have dinner, connect with friends. It's really good. Beautiful lake to be on.
It's instantly plain to see why this lake is a favorite among cottagers, fishermen, and recreational boaters. The lake has an almost irresistible call. Its thousands of granite-clipped islands dotted with majestic white pines are all waiting to be explored, while its waters offer some of the best fishing in North America. The lake is rich with history and offers the opportunity to create memories that will last a lifetime. Summertime in northwestern Ontario offers an abundance of sunshine, and the long daylight hours mean you'll be enjoying the views well into the evening while you learn why they call this Sunset Country. Synonymous with Lake of the Woods is the city of Kenora. This small town offers huge opportunities for all kinds of adventures. When you're done exploring the lake, spend a few days exploring the many shops, enticing restaurants, and rich culture that make this town a tourist favorite. Kenora offers plenty of accommodations, so consider extending your trip with a stay in town. Visit stayinkenora.com for more information.
Have you ever thought about taking sailing lessons, official lessons?
I have, and I missed the last course by just a couple days.
Okay.
So for sure we'll be looking into that. I understand that that's something that you offer.
Yeah, at Sail Kenora we do annually we do a basic cruising course. It's sanctioned by the Canadian Yachting Association. So there's a certain set of standards that you have to meet, both on a technical exam. There's 24 hours of classroom training, which we do in the spring.
Okay.
3 hours a night, like a 6 to 9 o'clock every Tuesday for 8 weeks. Kind of a pretty extensive exam at the end of it. There's a lot of material that you cover. Even a lot of aspects of ocean sailing as well are pertain to the course. And followed by, in June, we then do 3 days of on-the-water training on this boat, which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday deal.
Perfect.
And the students are required to perform certain maneuvers, one of them, the most important, being a man overboard and how to pick somebody up out of the water under sail.
Right.
That has to be done to the standard, or you don't get the certification. That's an important one. And how to anchor the boat properly, dock it, basic docking, maneuvering the boat under sail, understanding the different points of sail and how to trim the boat. So it's a really good course. Well, when I first started sailing, there was nobody in the area here that could show me how to sail, so I did have to do some hands-on, learn on my own.
Okay.
And then I had the opportunity to do this ocean trip and wanted to be able to give other people the opportunity to learn how to sail and the capability to begin an adventure on an ocean sailing type trip. I'm passionate about sailing. Having been on the ocean and seen what's out there is something I'd like to give back to everybody in order that they can experience that themselves.
Right. Welcome back, everybody. We are enjoying the beautiful sun that decided to come out. The winds have picked up. The skies are clearing up, which is amazing. We're still enjoying this beautiful day of sailing. Paul, can you tell us exactly where are we on Lake of the Woods?
We're in a section of the lake called the Manitou. It's west of Scotty's Island. Scotty's Island is a popular location for the locals. Beach area is great, little underwater at the moment with the high water.
For sure.
And we're just coming up towards Whiskey Island, sailing west towards Ptarmigan Bay. You got your true wind, which is basically the wind as it blows, and then you have the apparent wind, which is wind that you create as you move through the air. For example, if it's a calm day, there's no wind when you're standing on the front porch.
Right.
But if you get on a bicycle and start to pedal, there's wind because you're moving through the air and making wind.
Makes sense.
So a combination between the true wind, where it's blowing from, and the wind that you make come together and create a parent wind. And that Windex points to where the wind is coming from in combination of the boat moving and the direction of the natural wind. It's a little tricky.
It's incredible.
Tricky
it's like
to figure
science.
out,
Like,
yeah.
how long did it take you to figure all this out?
Well, I don't know if I have it all figured out yet. But, I
As
have
much as you have.
a basic understanding of it. Yeah, it takes time. There's always something to learn when you sail.
And that's got to be the beautiful thing about it too, is you've never stopped learning.
No,
Like, you're
there's
learning
always something
right?
to learn. Just sitting and listening to the other sailors at places like Northern Harbor, where I keep this boat, listening to those fellows that have had a lot of experience sailing. There's a lot of tricks of the trade that you can acquire from different sailors.
So we're sailing here at just under 6 knots, which translates to what, Paul?
About 12 kilometers an hour.
Okay, so you kind of just you double it.
Very rough calculation.
Yeah. Paul is always adjusting the sails to get the most out of the wind. Paul, can you tell us a little bit about how to maximize our wind with the sails and
Sure.
so on?
Well, actually, we're actually sailing into the wind right now. Not directly into the wind, but if the wind were coming at the boat, say at 12 o'clock on a clock, we're sailing at about 2 o'clock up into the eye of the wind. And that's kind of the interesting part about newer sailboats compared to the old square rig vessels that originally crossed the ocean to explore North America. Was those sailboats were designed to sail downwind, whereas the new boats today are actually designed where they can sail up into the wind. And it's somewhat of a tricky concept to wrap your head around, but what's actually happening is the wind is blowing by the sail, is approaching the sail, and the air is splitting past the sail. Around the outside of the sail is a longer distance than the inside. So what happens with the air passing at different speeds when it hits the sail, now there's actually a vacuum created, and the wind is actually pulling the boat forward. And rather than just pushing the boat sideways, because there's a sail, if you want to call it that, under the water, the keel,
Right.
it adds balance to those sails and also creates a pulling force that pushes the boat forward rather than just let it slip sideways.
Right.
So the reason that I trim or adjust the sails so frequently is the wind just doesn't blow steady from one direction. The wind is constantly oscillating back and forth. So as we drive the boat and the wind oscillates, the sails do go in and out of trim. So typically an experienced driver would drive the boat to always keep the sails trimmed and drive the boat with the wind oscillations.
Okay.
Or if you're sailing to a specific destination, your sail trimmers, as the wind oscillated, would ease or tighten the sails with the oscillations in order to keep the sails trimmed all the time.
Right.
And there's little ribbons on the sails called telltales, and those are your indicators on when the sail is trimmed or not trimmed. So the telltales, you want them flying straight back.
Okay.
That's your identification that you have a boat that's correctly trimmed, and you're getting the maximum amount of boat speed out of your sails for the wind conditions that you have.
Right.
It's tricky, and that's the art or the science to it. That as you gain experience, especially with an experienced crew, you can really get a boat moving pretty good.
Right.
And head down the lake with some serious efficiency and speed.
So we're going to head down the lake this way a little bit, and then we're going to start tacking the wind in the other direction. Paul's going to walk us through that.
Yeah, basically just tacking the boat is just changing the directions. We're going to shift the load off of the sail from the starboard side to the port side and turn the boat into another direction. So what'll happen as we do the maneuver is you'll steer the boat up into the eye of the wind, straight into the wind,
Okay.
pass through the eye of the wind, and then start to steer off towards the port side. The sails will both sails will shift to the other side. The main sail here will travel across the deck on its own, but the jib sheet here I'll have to release and pick up the weight on the jib sail off the jib sheet on the port side.
Okay.
So if we'll get into place for that, and we'll probably do this tack pretty soon.
Perfect.
I'm ready, Wendy.
Ready.
Helm's the lead. All right, start steering to port and go through the eye of the wind. Just easy. That's it. Slow it down a bit. Keep going. That's it. More to port. Keep going. Keep going. There you go, over there. That's good.
So we're heeled over right on our side here. This is pretty fun.
Probably 20 degrees.
Yeah, 20 degrees.
20 degrees a heel.
We've had an excellent day out here on Lake of the Woods sailing with Paul Murray from Sail Kenora, and we're just coming back into Northern Harbor now. We're going to dock the boat, and we couldn't have asked for a better day. We've had lots of wind, we've had some sun. It's a little overcast now, but all in all, it's been incredible. So we're back here at the dock at Northern Harbor. Thank you so much, Paul. Our sailing adventure has come to an end. But all your sailing needs, anything you need, lake related or sailing related, this is your guy right here, Paul Murray, sailkenora.ca. Check out his Facebook page and check out our Facebook page too, because we'll have links and pictures and so on. So Weekend Adventure Canada and sailkenora.ca. Thanks again,
Wendy.
Paul.
It's good to have you on board.
It was such a pleasure. It was
Looks
amazing.
like we got back just in the nick of time.
That's
a little bit
right.
of weather moving in.
Got
And,
some sort of a system moving
All's
in.
well.
So.
Nice to be back at the dock when the foul weather hits. For
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. Thanks again, Paul. It was
Come again
really,
anytime.
really fun.
Great.